in a particular dhyan posture, closing your eyes. For instance, if you are sitting in a vertical posture and you feel that you have closed your eyes and now you're doing dhyana, not necessarily dhyana is happening. Meditation doesn't happen like that. Meditation is that spiritual bliss. It is that connect with that Param Atman, that is that supreme consciousness, till you consciously make that connection with that creator. Then we are not doing meditation. We can do anything but not meditation, because sitting in the vertical posture, we can get involved in many practices. At times you're in your workplace, at your workplace, in your office, you're doing something and you simply pass out. Your eyes are closed, you're sitting in that vertical posture with pen in your hand, but that is meditation is not happening. That is something else. Maybe you can calm yourself down. We can put on those earphones and listen to some meditative music, or some sort of music that can calm us down, or some sort of rhythm that can calm us down. But meditation is not happening. Meditation can happen on many levels. If you want that blissful meditation, that is that connect with that ultimate supreme consciousness, that connects the mankind, the humanity to that supreme consciousness, regardless of our faith, regardless of our belief, gender, nationality, regardless of our being a human or an animal or any creature, just consciously realizing, or in a holistic way, the realizing the material and the existence, that are the two different worlds. That is the material world that comprise of that existence, material world comprise of that existence, but material world is not existence by itself. Existence has a lot of things involved in material world, is a part of that illusion that has been gifted to us by that Almighty, putting us into that test, and in order to function, in order to perform, and in order to come out successfully with flying colors out of the test, we have to connect with that supreme consciousness, keeping all our biases and individual opinions at one side, and connect with that universe consciousness holistically. Only then we will be able to successfully get into that meditative mode, taking in our hands and making into function and make it happen. We have to make it happen for ourselves. Till we want to make it happen, till that intention comes into power. Physically, we can do any asana. Physically, it's like going and hitting the gym. To lose those calories, you can spend 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours in gym. But it is not just the physical posture that you sit physically, but your mind is wandering somewhere. Because at the end of the day, it is a battle with the mind. It's the battle with the illusion. That is a larger battle that is going somewhere upwards. And that has to do with that existence. And it is a gift of that existence, the law of the universe, how it is working on that macro level, that impacts our micro level, our tiny problems, our office problems, our day-to-day lives, how we're going to pay those bills, how we're going to feed our children, how we're going to eat those bread and those butter. That is a very tiny aspect of that macro thing. If we connect with that macro, once we get that understanding at the macro level, understanding of that supreme consciousness, that existence, how it all is functioning, and if you connect the dots, you'll get to know that how your life is being guided by the supreme consciousness, and these small tiny problems can cause no harm to you. They can do nothing to you. And we are so weak in our lives, we are so weak towards our desires, we are so helpless in nature, that these tiny problems in our life cause us stress, put us to depression, and it affects us so much. We have been blessed with this body. We can put the body to use to reach that meditative state, but no, we choose to be indulged in those stress, on those activities, on those desires that can further push us towards the illusion, towards the world of illusion, that material life. In order to conquer and win over that material life, we have to make use of our body, we have to make use of our mind. Think of those spiritual seekers who are physically disabled. There are so many spiritual seekers, there are so many sadhaks who are physically paralyzed, who are physically disabled, but they are in the ucha avastha, that we say. They are in the superior state of meditative state. They have, their consciousness is so much aligned, their body, mind and soul is so much aligned, their aura, their frequency is so much aligned. It is beyond your imagination. If you meet those kind of spiritual seekers and sadhak, you will get to know that what am I doing, and what is this person, that supreme consciousness, that existence has not even gifted that sadhak, that spiritual seeker, with the able body to make use of that body, but still he is living in that higher state of mind. But we, in spite of having our body, what are we doing? Are we making the right use of our body? Are we really making the right use of our mind to win over that material world? Once you win over that material world, job, relationship, your day-to-day affairs, anything, every action we are doing, will have a control on it, we'll have a conscious control on it, and we will be aware and mindful of each and every activity that we are doing. People put on weight because they don't eat mindfully. They do overeating, they get into bulimia, they get into depression, they do that overeating. And not just overeating, people even who don't do that overeating, they don't bother to chew their food because they are not mindful of their action or practice. Even if they want to go to sleep, they just pick up their mobiles, keep looking at it, and robotically it is like that electronic media is controlling us and they get into sleep. Then what are you doing to your body? And when you're sleeping, what kind of thoughts will you have? What kind of energy? When you're in the sleep mode, that is in Sanskrit, it's called the Sushupti Avastha. Deep down, that meditation is happening within you, and that inner consciousness, the subconscious within you, gets connected with the supreme consciousness. And night is the time when the exchange of property takes place, when the exchange of power takes place, and your subconscious sends the signals to the universe, and that kind of things we attract in our life. So what are we doing? What kind of thoughts we are sleeping with? We are sleeping with enemy in a way. How? Because the electronic media, we are watching all sort of things, we are watching all sort of stuff which is further connecting us with that illusion. Then how do we expect to win over that material world once we are getting carried away with that illusion? We are not making the use of our body. If we do 30 minutes of conscious meditation just before sleeping, then we are making use of your body, and we are in a way instructing our body and giving our inner consciousness that atmosphere. For instance, if you're doing that flowering, if you want that flower to bud, then you have to give it that particular nature it needs. You have to give it that environment. When a woman is pregnant, then that baby inside, that fetus needs that kind of environment inside, that kind of environment, so that enables it to grow. So in order for us, to our inner self, for our inner growth, we have to give our subconscious that environment through our body, and it is the body that is giving that environment. If we are giving electronic media and that message to that and that kind of environment to our consciousness, how do we expect it to connect and do its work at its night? At night, we are asleep, but the universe, the consciousness, the subconscious within, that has been designed in a way that connects with the supreme consciousness. It is the design, it is not in our hands. Science can just explain it, but science has not designed it in a way. Science has not given it birth. Science is just explaining it. So what are we doing? We are giving the electronic media messages, all sort of things that are happening, all sort of nonsense that we are witnessing in our day-to-day lives, all sort of miseries that we are seeing, those kind of pains, those kind of sufferings, the fights, the evilness, the jealousy, and the desires, the unaccomplished desires, those kind of things that you want to have but you don't have, the pain of not having it, those kind of things and those kind of environment, if you give to your subconscious, and then we expect that the law of attraction will work and we will manifest certain kind of things, then this is highly sad. This is very, very sad, because we don't know what we are doing to ourselves. We don't know what we are allowing electronic media do to yourselves. I'm not saying in today's world electronic media is a boon, but we are making it into a curse. It's not a curse, it's a boon. We can make use of it by generating so much of knowledge, so much of scientific facts, so much of spiritual knowledge, so much of holy verses, the translation of those books, those spiritual books, but we are not doing that. What we want to do is, we want to make the electronic media a curse, and electronic media is doing that to us, because the people who are manufacturing it, they want that the scrolling that you do in the Instagram, the scrolling that you do of YouTube shorts, think about it, how much time is it consuming and what is it doing to you? The continuous scrolling, the robotic thing. Ask your parents or our elders or our ancestors, have they reached higher level of meditative state by doing this kind of activity? I'm not saying we have to cut off with that electronic media, but why not use it wisely? If we use it wisely, if we are mindful about using it, if we are mindful and aware of what we are doing, maybe eating, maybe using your phone, maybe using the net, maybe this talking that you're doing, anything that we do, if we are doing it mindfully, if we are mindful and aware towards it, then we will be able to give our body that environment, we will be able to give the subconscious that environment to bud, to flourish, to grow, and our inner growth will happen. It's very important for us to focus on our inner growth, especially in today's times. COVID happened and the world came to a standstill, and the reception and everything. See, many things are happening in many places. If you focus only on the job, on the business and the bills that you have to pay, I know we have to pay our bills ourselves. There is nobody else who's going to do that for us. It is all about leading the world. It's not about living anything. Leading your normal life. Just lead your normal life. Watch the electronic media. Do whatever you want to do. All the things that you want to do, you're free to do. But just if you're mindful about it, then automatically if you're mindful about it, you will chart out and you will stop doing the things that are nonsense, that are causing harm to your body, that's causing harm to your mind. You will be able to get out of that toxic relationship which is giving you pain. You will be able to get out of that work atmosphere, of that what we call the dirty politics, the office politics, which you are indulged in spite of not wanting to, because of certain reasons, and you're not being able to come out of it. Your meditation will empower you in a way. Your self-mindfulness, your self-empowerment will enable you to get out of the mess that you want to get out, but you're not being able to get out of it because of certain compulsions. Bread, 41 days of life-changing course, life-changing experience, no dependency, what the slavery, bread.